Good morning, traders. Welcome to your NQ Open Live. Venderman here with FuturestraderElite. I'll give it just a few minutes for some people to get on before we open into the chart and take a look at anything. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Hope everybody's doing well this morning, getting prepared. Know it's a news day. Some news come out. There's some ugly things going on the chart already. But we will be prepared. We will be putting some game plans together. Trying to get everything set up on my end. Still here. Order canceled. Orders canceled. Right, I'm gonna look into this chart here. We are set on the 1 minute. If you're already here, let me know in chat if you're here, and if you can hear me fine. Chart looks fine. If there's some kind of lag, let me know. All right. So I'm gonna move this trend line here. I posted a pre-market prep video this morning on YouTube, like way before the market opened. I may start doing recording pre-market prep and posting it earlier in the morning instead of trying to get on here early and do it right before the market opens, because it don't seem like that many people are logged on when I've been trying to get on early and do pre-market prep here live. So I may switch back to doing that beforehand in the morning. These imbalance zones are some things I had on my chart from the 1 and 5 minute during pre-market. Let's hop this over real quick to the 4 hour. We'll see. Well, let's go to the 1 hour. Looking at this on the 1 hour chart, you know, one of the key levels we need to watch out for today is this 4 hour zone right here. This 4 hour zone, look how we've already tagged it several times, sucked way up back here, come back and tagged it overnight, got to push out of that zone overnight, and then we come down and almost got close to it right here. So this zone is 890 to 900. This is a key level right now today. We break below this level, we need to start thinking about shorts on the day. Good morning, Melinda. Thinking about shorts on the day because it's a key level. So if we get under 890, we need to start thinking about this imbalance zone and this S1 pivot here, and this 4 hour zone that's right above it. It's from 831 to 841. And I could really see if they break this line in the sand where they haven't been able to get through this 4 hour zone here in a couple days. So, you know, if they break this, I could really think we're going to tag this 4 hour zone pretty quick and then start thinking about filling some of this imbalance, especially down into, let's say they did break that. I'd be thinking something about like this here maybe. Let's do 748 to 758. I'd kind of be looking at that if they broke this and got below the S1 pivot. So, well, to the top side, you can see we got some zones up here, 42 to 52, and then 114 to 124 on the 4 hour anyway. We got about 7-8 minutes, it looks like, still before the market opens. I'm going to hop this over to the 5 minute. I'm going to see if we can find us some imbalance stuff we need to be paying attention to. I just took a bunch off from pre-market that I had on here, but we still have some imbalance on the chart up here on the 5 minute. we got that wild wick. Well, it's even wilder on the 1 minute, but we'll look at that here in a minute. We don't really have, we had some more imbalance in the 5 minute right here, but it's about to fill it. Let's look at the 1 minute real quick so we can look at how wild that candle was. Yeah, look at this thing. Look at this wild candle. Wow. Right at 7:30, 7:31. Thing opened up and wicked down to this low back here. It's about 928 to 25,055. So, what, about 130 point candle, something like that. And then come back down. There was an imbalance zone down here on the chart where this came to and tagged a trend line before this drive up, but I took all that off a minute ago. We'll see what we have here. We got some imbalance right here. 946 to 956 on the 1 minute. See what they do at the open. You know, I'll be looking at this right here for possible pullback range. You know, if they drive this on up and try to get it to the golden pivot, then we have to think possibility that we get a push down at the open, come down here, that'd sweep the 50 EMA by a little bit, by about 20 points or so. That would be ideal at the open, you know, or they might try to make this push to fill this wick here. That'd be what we call a wick rejection zone, and that's a huge one though. I mean, I wouldn't, this don't carry too much weight for me. I didn't actually see that candle happen. I was in here, but I wasn't looking at my screen. By the time I looked over, it was over here on one of these red candles, so I didn't see how fast that really moved. It's a pretty hard drive back up right here this morning before market opens, and we're almost going to be looking at exhaustion on the 1, 2, and 5 minute. If we can push up into here over the next 5 minutes, that would get the 5 minute momentum indicator up in the exhaustion zone as well. The 1 and 2 minute already are, but I'd like to see the 5 minute up there as well. That would be a lot, that would set up for a lot better trade if it does that on the 5 minute. Then we have all 3 time frames. Get the first red candle, close, enter short, depending on how the momentum indicators look. That's a trade plan that I'll be looking at when the market opens. It'll be a little risky though, because of how it depends. If they open this crazy high ATR, it could get a push and stay in the overbought territory for a little while. So just have to be safe with it up here. We're going to try to have us a good trading day here. Melinda, can you hear me okay? Every day I get these error messages about my audio on here. I think it's just got something to do with my settings that I put in here to try to keep some of the background noise out, so I think it automatically tells me there's a problem. And there probably ain't. We got about a little over 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes, something like that. Hopefully that we don't. Hopefully I don't get any type of interruptions because of weather. It seems like it's storm's already starting to roll in here. Pretty windy. I don't know. I think the worst of it's supposed to come later in the day though. So. Getting the old push up to that 4-hour zone up there. I thought maybe this right here was setting up, you know, they put that first red candle in right there, started pushing down at the golden pivot. But I tell you, I'm waiting for this indicator on the 5-minute to get up here to the 80 area. If they push this into that zone that we was just looking at, what these are already up here, and this one gets up there, it could be really exhausted. So we'll see. We will see. We've got about 25 seconds before the market opens. Might want to downsize a little bit before market opens in case it gets a little crazy. Trade plan for me is going to be if I get exhaustion up here, and then if we get pullback, I'm going to be looking at this imbalance area right here. Got more imbalance up there on the 5-minute chart. Look at them push it. I'm going to try to be patient, sit on my hands. Wait and see if I get this first 5-minute candle. I mean, not 5-minute, this first red candle on this 1 minute, because now they've gotten that 5-minute indicator is real close to 80. And we might get set up for the push down. Man, I knew I should have got in this imbalance zone right here. Take that imbalance zone off here, it's done. You know, we should. I want to see this thing pull back to the 50 EMA, possibly down here to this imbalance zone, maybe. Come on, let's get that push. You can do it. Needed to, I really wanted to get down here and closer to this 4-hour zone. Only got about 5 seconds though, so. Whoa. ATR is about 28. Not too out of control. Things exhausted up here. It should be, but they don't mean they can't keep trying to push it. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Push it. Come on, push it. Let's go, let's go. There we go. Nice. All right, I like it. I like it, I like it. See if I can give us some room to breathe. I wanted to get out at least half of those. I don't really ever like to hold that many for very long. Plus, if it tries to pull back up here again, I can DCA back into it up in here if it tries to push towards that 4-hour zone. And then if it don't push that way and it keeps going my way, at least I still have, you know, a handful. I'm kind of looking at this. I got this order set here to cover at this wick on this body because we have imbalance here. From here to the top of the 4-hour zone, there's some imbalance in the 1-minute chart. So I want to snag that as my take profit for 3. And then hopefully if we can get down there, I'll hold the other 3 as long as I can. Be on the hunt for a bigger move to the downside. That's what I'm looking for. Do I get it? I don't know. But I should be protecting myself. I need the dollar cost average in. That way I don't have so many to, yeah. It'll work better for me having to just buy starting at 3 than starting at 6. All right, let's see here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Way up there. I don't want that the dollar cost average way up there. Just give it some time to breathe. Looking for a death candle out of here, you know, but they almost got to come down here and break 50, break below 50 in order to really probably find the momentum to push a bigger push down. We'll see. Anybody else take anything yet or just sitting on them hands right now? Being safe? Nothing wrong with that. I started out a little bit more aggressive again today than I usually do. If you're new here, welcome to FuturestraderElite. All we're trying to do here is go for base hits. We're not trying to knock anything out of the park. Now, I mean, if we do, great, but we're not aiming for that. We're not gamblers, we're base hitters. You know, I'm in at 90. We could get that pull back down to here. We grab it. We could catch us another one of them 100+ point moves like we did yesterday. It's awfully wicky up here, that's for sure. Let me look at some. Well, see, they're hanging it out up here. I don't like that. And the reason I don't like that is one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to end up getting stopped out in the red. are having to close out because they're building this flag for something like that right there. Nice. All right. And see, this is how I manage my trades in real time. You got to be reading that chart really close. I DCA'd back in, and then I sold 3 again right away. Moves my average up, and it don't hurt me as bad on the fees using NQ. As long as I'm not scalping out for just 1 or 2 points, you know. Always try to get at least 5 or a little better. And then if it does it again, we get up here in the 4-hour zone, I can load in dollar cost average in some more, and then rinse and repeat. Because one of these positions, you're gonna, when it moves you up, you're gonna get that 5-minute candle, and it's gonna be followed by a death candle. Should be. Should be, but that don't mean it will be. Anybody else short up here anywhere? Don't follow me, I can tell you that. All right, got us another first red candle. We are so exhausted on 1, 2, and 5 minute. It looks like they're going to want to push this down. And then the kicker there is going to be where they're going to push it down to. We are going to say that they could come back and touch this zone, in this 4-hour zone, maybe the bottom of this box. Maybe. Or they could break through it and hit the 50. Or they might want to come down here and test this imbalance. It depends on what kind of momentum they can get when it shifts. Right now, it's really bullish looking, bull flag. You know, it's counter trend trade. Nice. Still, like I said, if we get down here, if they come back and test this imbalance down here and they break 950 or so, they're probably going to push it on down to the golden pivot or the 50 if they can do that. I think it's that level there at the 50 that it would find some juice for a harder push to the downside. Hey, what's going on, Jeff? He's not short yet. Well, but it sounds like you're thinking about it. I want to see him put us a big push, you know, up here. We're getting into this 4-hour zone. There ain't no reason we can't come back here and test 25,000. I mean, come on. What are we doing? We got, oh man, they're just cruising along up here in the exhaustion zone on this chart over here. I think that I think I'm going to try to get dollar cost average in that 4-hour zone if they want to push up into there. They could even want to try to sweep it. You know, they could get up here, sweep that zone. Let's look to the left here real quick. Look back here overnight. That they struggled right there at the top of that zone. So there we go. Let's get the push. Push it. Come on. You know, and if we can get a hard down candle to the top of this zone, maybe they come tap the bottom and bounce this a little bit. Maybe they'll put some imbalance in the chart on the way down. Might get a bounce back up and then balance for another leg down, maybe. Goodness. There we go. Come on. Where's that push at? You can do it. You can do it. I should probably throw me a stop, but well, nah. But we're going to let it breathe. Let's let it work. We done talked the game plan out. Let's let it work and see what happens. I do need to protect myself, though, a little bit. I'll just sell 2 up here. That way, if it goes against me, I can dollar cost average in up there. I want to see a bigger push to the downside here. Don't know if I'll get it, though, but we'll see. We have to break 950. I mean, even if we can get through these little wicks here, that'll help us some. Maybe find some momentum each low that it takes out. This one, though, is the important one because it's also close to the top of this wick out that it did at 7:30 on the news or whatever happened there. Come on, let's go. All right, I need to move this tighter because I don't need to give all that back. Looking pretty good so far. Need to protect myself back here. I'm not going to give any of this back. I'll just have to get back in the trade short if it goes against me. So, excuse me. Let's get that push below 950. I mean below 50. And my numbers all jumbled up today. I'll try to catch myself and correct it, but if I say a number that don't sound right, then holler at me in chat because I might be talking a little crazy. What in the world? Did I just... Alright, whatever. I did not mean to do all that. Turned around paying attention to something else. So, got this bounce here. Question is are we going to go... They're going to try to pop this back up and take that high out? Yeah, it's a possibility that they try to push it. They just don't have a lot of room on the momentum to expand without it being looking pretty bad. But I mean, they could get a good push and push it, and it just be so overexhausted that you have to wait till it gets tired and then maybe try to catch the short. Oh, of course. And see, now that I done got stopped out, I can't really get short here now because look, my indicator's way down here. The 5 minute, I mean, would kind of have to watch for some kind of break and a retest. You know, maybe if we break, see it come down here and almost tested this area that I was talking about, need to break and suck back up. If we can break it, maybe come down some and then maybe bounce and retest the same area around 50. Maybe for an inner short for another leg down. Or, you know, maybe they come down, break below the 50 and retest the 50 for an entry for another short to the downside. We just have to wait and see if that sets up. Melinda says she's been sitting in the corner. Well, nothing wrong with that. I don't necessarily need to be, maybe I need to be put in the corner. I didn't necessarily need to be trading yet. Oh, Cole's on. Good morning, Cole. Melinda, why are you in timeout? Did you take a bad trade? Look at this, breaking below our 50. Oh man, the trade plan's working. I got stopped out. I should have never even put any stops in place. Happens to me every single day. I think they might try to bounce this. The 5 minutes still really exhausted, oversold. I mean bought. But now the 1 minute and 2 minutes getting down here. Well, the 1 minute is anyway. 2 minutes not. Look at that, tap the very bottom of the imbalance, sucking it back up. I'm sorry to hear that, Melinda. We get drop here. Hey, trade plan worked. I was in it. You know, it happens. Put my stops in, keep them too tight, get whipped out. I think we need to be kind of looking for some kind of bounce off of the 1 minute chart, because the 5 minute, you know, maybe get some kind of bounce until the 2 minute and 5 minute cool off some more and get closer to the oversold. We should probably see some up legs and then some down legs while the other two indicators are draining off. Oh, imbalance here is holding it at 50 EMA too, so might be worth the having a look at. Loading the boat. What do I want to do here? I don't know if they're going to try to bounce that. You know what? I just need to stay out. When I'm going to form a plan, see what they do. If they're going to drop and break below the 50, you know, maybe get down here to the golden pivot, or are they going to try to push this back up right here? Right now the 50's saving it, so one would think, you know, I could play off the bottom of this box and set my stop wrist tight down here somewhere. That way, well, then you'd be stopped out again. I don't know. I don't want to get in a long really unless they come down to our box down here. There's the 1 minute sell signal. Did it go? It's not on the 2 minute same time though, so although the 1, 2, and 5 is looking pretty rough for the moment anyway. Maybe come up here and retest the 50 here for a short entry possible for another leg down. The problem with that is this could just be a sweep of the 50 EMA. Need to take that box off since it got filled. Don't really see much more imbalance here. There's a little bit from where we're at to the 50. They could come up here and snag the 50 and push it down some more. That's why it's a hard call for longs and shorts when their charts there this way and momentum indicators ain't where you want them, because we could sweep the 50 and bounce, especially with the golden pivot down here. Or they could come retest and just push it down further. And if they do that, I don't really, the risk to reward ain't that great on the long or the short. The prior open was 978 right down here, and the prior close right here. Prior open, prior close. You know, one of these could act as something as well now that we're open. So, all right, so we're gonna This could be it setting up for break of structure here. Bad feel. Oh well. See. Nice. Come on, keep pushing. Well, are we going to get another break of structure up here? Kind of like the way this looks. It's setting up off of this area right here. Cole said he got him a nice long off trend line. I like that. Beautiful. In at 38, out at 68. I like it. Getting in a little too heavy. I need to get out. Don't like the way they suck that candle back down like that. No, I do not. Right. Come on, let's go. Push that back up. Come on. Help us out now. I need this to push up here because the only reason I dollar cost averaged into this trade is because it was looking like we got this push down and wick down like they was going to try to test a 50 EMA again as a retest and then maybe push it, keep pushing it to the upside. We'll see. Nice. Get out of them. I don't want that many. No. Well, looked like it was going to work in my favor there for a second. In here doing counter trend trade. Hoping that I can get one more push here out of this. Come on, let's go. Help me out. Push. You can do it. This thing. Come on, let's get that push. One more good push. There we go. Let's go. Push. Need to push it and break his wick up here. Come on, let's go. Come on, don't push it down. I want to take another 2 up here, break a structure of this wick, or it's going to be a retest of this structure. So I want to take 2 there in case it tries to reject out of that area like it did on this wick. And then I'm going to sell 4 there. I'll hold on to 1. That way if it comes back against me, I'll just have 1 left. Try to lock in some of the gains that I've gotten. All right, 3 left. I'm gonna move this down to 2. Oh no, 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 no. Nope, nope, nope. Where are we going? All right. Try to give us some room to breathe here off that momentum push. Hopefully it don't come back down here and test that structure. I should have just let it go up there and tag it, I guess. I'll get out back up there. Let me move that tighter to that. I need to be done with this trade anyway. Copy trading, so I need to not be stingy. Nice. 609.50. Had us a pretty good trade there. What do you guys think? Took a bit of managing it, but we got it. We got it. Now I got to look and see what. Now I now need to form another trade plan, of course. So, oh, we got a lot of imbalance there on the 1 minute. We'll see. Ooh, look at the push. What are they doing? I'm about to find the short up here. We don't try to guess tops though. The best way for me to find a good entry up here on a short is looking for a key level. Preferably the 4-hour zone or the overhead trend line we have up here. And I'm not even ready because I need to rotate counts. Darn it anyway. So we're back into exhaustion territory up here in this 4-hour. I'm going to see what this candle here does. You know, that's a high time frame. It's a 4-hour trend line right there, right above the 4-hour zone. So this candle is going to close red probably. It's an awfully big one. I don't know if I want to take it up there though. Ah, man. Normally I would take that first 5-minute candle. I mean, the close of the 1-minute candle. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that. Well, that's a nice rejection off that 4-hour zone. Could have got in at the top of the box anywhere in the zone up here. 30, 40 point drop or better. Yeah, that's a quick base hit right there for sure. And I missed it. That happens. You can't catch them all. Not all the time. So I'm going to be looking for this to cool off a little bit. Let's see if we can pull back down into this imbalance zone down here maybe. Or they could come down. If they come down and tap the bottom of this 4-hour zone, that's a break of structure retest right here where it flew through that with that candle. They could just be doing a retest here for a leg up. Nice. Did anybody get short up here close to this trend line in this 4-hour zone? If you did, great job. That was a beautiful trade. ATR is about 42. I like it. You say it missed it by 5 points. That's where I probably would have been too, Cole. Had I had all my stuff switched over in time, my thought was to put it between the top of that box, probably in that line and maybe a little above it. The better question is, did you chase it, or did you just hang out at the train station up there? Or did you have fear of missing out and get in it anyway? I like it. I like it. Sticking to them rules. Good job, Melinda. Sometimes that's how it is. I like how they tap top this imbalance zone and suck that up, and now look at this. I mean, what are we doing? I can't. Trying to build these trade plans on the fly as the intraday, and right now I can't buy. I can't get long here. I can't get short here. You know, maybe if they break structure at 148, 150 on the 1 minute with some momentum, yeah, might be able to get long for maybe a scalp trade back up to the trend line. Maybe, but I just don't really think I'm not comfortable with that. I'd really have to see something different. How it acted because of where the momentum indicators are at. It's like a no-go for me. I hate I missed that short though. My fault for not being quick enough to rotate out of some accounts and into something else. No chasing though, like Cole said. We ain't chasing. What was this? If we could have played the top of this box here at 86 and it got sucked up to 114 and closed, or right around there. That's a nice base hit off the top of that box. I'm really surprised they didn't come down and fill that. So now I'm going to have to be watching as this chart starts to play out to the side, watch this 50 EMA work its way up into this box, and maybe be thinking of a retest of the 50 EMA if they want to keep going up. You know, we got these higher lows here. Let me put me a trend line here on this 1 minute chart. So, you know, what if they chop this around over in here and they come down and fill this box in this trend line here, and maybe that 50 EMA works its way into this box sideways right here, and it's somewhere close where you have confluence of the imbalance, the 50, and the trend line. There's one idea. You guys like that idea? We'll see when it gets there, if it gets there. Got this nice trend up so far here. I don't know about this this lower high here. We need to see. When you get inside a range like this from where you've been putting in these higher lows like this, and then you put in this high, and now you got a lower high. You need to start paying attention to your range. You know, we got this bullish line here, this overhead line up top, and then the distance between that and say the high and this trend line, and think, if I'm going to go long, I want to enter as close as I can down here if it sets up, or enter short up here as high as I can, not right here anywhere in this mess. There's too many what ifs to try to go long here or short here in the middle. Can be done if you're scalping and keep tight risk management, but I don't think it's really going to be worth it in the end. See, we're almost filled in balance here, just a few points from the 50. And that could have been an entry there for a turnaround possibly. You see we're at the 50-yard line on the indicator. It could curl up at the 50 instead of driving down in the oversold. Kind of like back here when it come below it, dip below the 50, right in this area of the chart, and then got this push out. We'll see. Melinda says she likes the idea. Maybe if just enough of us like the idea, maybe it'll happen. You think that could happen? Or oh no, the market's not that generous to us retail traders. Cole says he went long at 74, scalped 29 points in seconds. Well, let me have a look here. He said 74, so right in here. Somewhere 74 and scalped 29 points. You just scalped out of this suck up right here on this candle into this other wick probably, if you just now did that. That's what it looks like. Man, nice job, Cole. Nice job. I love it. Yeah. I don't know what we can try. Maybe we can will it our way some kind of way. Cole snagged it. He snagged a nice base hit there. Beautiful. What was your thought process there, Cole? That 50 EMA being there, or this wick back here? That's a little about 76. And this goes in line with something I talk about all the time on these streams, is about how we was coming down. And inside your structure, if you ever have a candle with a wick, something like that, and you're coming back down, or even if you're going down and coming back up to retest the area, you got to pay attention to these standout wicks that are that big. Because, I mean, all that did was come down and cross that. Because there's imbalance, almost like imbalance there. Putting imbalance on the 2 minute. I don't never draw that on my chart, but I have been looking at the 2 minute. Let me go look at my 2 minute. I see. Yep. Nice eye. Nice eye, buddy. Look at this. Did you play that again? Cole, that was right up your alley. It just did the same thing. If you did, I need to quit talking and start trading. I'm just messing with you. You didn't? That was almost like what you did a minute ago. I'll get a little bit more of a push maybe, and you would have the same trade there, it looks like. So here we are. We're getting down in the box. Going back to what I was talking about, working its way to this trend line, and this 50 starting to curl over. So it might not hit exactly like we thought, but now we can come out of the bottom, or they can chop this around a little bit. And next thing you know, you have all three of these things combined over here. Shorted to the 50. Good job. Good job. Look at this. Look at this. What are they doing? Well, tell you what, the 5 minute chart is just ugly. They're all of them are ugly. All them charts. Yeah, man, they sure do keep trying to suck these candles up. and they're letting them drain down. At 1 minute, it's about to get down there. It's a little ways though. The 2 minutes around the 50-yard line, and the 5 minute has like enough room for expansion to get down here probably. If it dropped hard, better move this box over here. 56 to 46. Sweep of the 50. Do they have it in them to push it out of this area? What's going on, Joe? Joe, you from the Discord? I don't hadn't recognized that in the stream. Joe says the 66 fib level with the fair value gap as well. I like it. I like it. Using the fib and the fair value gap. So I guess I need to take this box off since I already build it. So we still have this one down here if they want to make a bigger pullback. We've got nothing else really on the chart right now that matters as far as imbalance goes. Got break of structure here if they can close. They're going to have to do that. It'd be nice if they could break 120 or so pretty good with this candle. If they could get up here and hit 120 and close, you know, they might be thinking about leg up, leg up. Did anybody keep up with the news this morning on how it was? Was it good? Was it bad for us? I'm not gonna lie, I don't keep up with it at all. I just need to, I try to remember the days that it is so I'm aware of the stupidity of the chart because of news, but I did not watch it. We keep coming to test that 50. I got a sell signal on the 1 minute, nothing on the 2. But just have to sit on our hands right now. Or I'm going to sit on my hands for now. Hey, what's going on, Jake? Big Jake's in the chat room. Long-time trader, long-time friend from some other places. CPI was in line, so no wonder that candle was so ugly, I guess. They just didn't know which way it was going to go, did they? I wasn't watching the chart. I seen that. I think I didn't see the chart. It was like 3 minutes after it come out, and I seen that candle. I was like, man, I wish I would have seen that. I'm gonna sit here and wait and see if they try to break this down some more. They got some, like I said, they got plenty of room for expansion on the 5 minute, but to the downside. the one is got room still. The 2, I could see them getting this down a little ways. I'm overall bearish on the market right now. Looking at the daily, yeah. The trend of the market ain't nowhere near ready for me to be thinking about being a bull. Let's ask Jake what he thinks. He's a big time short guy. So am I. I like to short. So, Jake, what do you think about the overall market? Yeah, but are you a bear in a bullish market too, though? No, he plays both ways. Just, you got to. But I like to short, and in a bear market, He says he's neutral. We've had a pretty decent start to the day though. We've gotten in some trades. Y'all got in some nice trades. Yeah, I've been seeing you post some of them credit spreads in the Discord. Looks like you're doing well with those. Congratulations, my man. I hadn't traded options not one day since I stepped away from them to start doing futures. Nice day. Wow. Sometimes I miss my 0 DTEs, but I hadn't messed with none of that. Futures to me is kind of a lot like what it was trading options without the time decay. You can still make good money, you know. And not be sweating. I used to hate sweating that time decay sometimes. Trying to find us another trade plan here. You don't, hey, Jake, you don't trade futures at all right now, do you? Are you just still doing stocks and options? Nice. Oh man, you got it. You got it. You've been trading them options long enough. You got it. It was a little bit I thought of a learning curve just on how prop firm stuff works and all that, you know, because they got rules and all that. Unless you're going to use your own capital in a cash account or something, but other than learning that part, you already got it. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I finally made the leap, it was because I was watching her and Hammer. They're posting all the time, and so I was kind of just following in the background while I was still doing options, and started looking into it and doing my research and all that, and it just decided to make the leap. Cat's doing really good every day, it seems like. She hadn't been on the live stream, I don't think, but maybe once or twice. But we ain't been live streaming very long. I think this week, I think, is our second full week of being, maybe. ATR is around 20 on the 1 minute, about 50 on the 5 minute. I can't find anything here that makes me want to jump in. Me and Kat and Jake were all members of another Discord. Well, we kind of had a Discord that we all met somewhere else at a different Discord, and then we had our own Discord with just a handful of traders. I can't even remember how many. I don't even think we had more than 8 or 10 people in it. And we had it for a couple years. Was it 10? 10 people. Well, we had it for a couple years. We had 10 people in it, I guess is what Jake is saying. Yeah, we all just met in a random Discord one day, long time ago. Probably about 2023, I think, is when it was for me. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna have to look into that today, maybe. Them levels, Jake. Looking at that myself. I don't look at that. I'm guessing that. Are you still over there? Where you was getting muted once a week? I tried to post in there one day in the general chat or whichever one you was just allowed to go talk in or put questions in or whatever. And it had been like probably, I don't know, maybe a year, and automatically got banned. I can't even get in it. I didn't even say nothing to nobody. I was like, whatever. Because I never went over there anymore anyway, since I wasn't really messing with none of that. That didn't hurt my feelings none. Wow, I'm not even doing so much talking. I just went in there and asked like a simple trading question, like a newbie would do, just to stir up some conversation. Oh, it was good times. Yeah, it was really funny to be talking about being short when TT was always talking about being long and be trying to act like we was about to get something handed to us because we were short. Good times, good times. So here's some imbalance here on the one. I need to look and see if they put anything on the 5. On the 5, well, can't really mark anything on the 5 till that next candle closes. We need to see if it gets pushed down some more. Took a long off the 200. Got you a good scalp. Nice job, Melinda. I'm going to be thinking about this. This imbalance has been on the chart for a while down here this morning. And if they can push, if they can extend this down, this leg here, we got this trend line down here. This imbalance zone, everything's going to be exhausted on the momentum indicator. Even on the 5, it should be if they can push it down there. So we'll see. And then they just tapped. What are they? All right, I'm going to have to try and get long here. I think they're going to try, if they push this down, maybe they tap this trend line. Get our data box pulled up here so we can see what those are. It's coming up on the prior open at 978, and that was the prior close up here at 25,008. Jake, are you still talk to Hammer, or part of his disc. I don't even know if he still had. I'm not in his Discord anymore, and I hadn't talked to him in a while, so I don't know what's going on with him. He joined my Discord, but he ain't never in there. I didn't know if maybe he took some time down or away from it for a while or something, or. Wow. Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. I don't. Let me look real quick. Mine's probably might have been that long as well or better. Yeah, September. Was September, man. It's been a while. You still got that one guy over there in that other Discord that has never loses. Took a long 88 to out at 06. Nice job, Melinda. Beautiful trade. Nice. Well, I don't want to take a long unless they come down and tag me where I'm at. That was a good trade, though. I know that's what I was looking at when she said that. I was like, okay, look at her. You got the little bounce there. Got in on the bounce and then scalped out of it. Nice trade. So now we got this imbalance up here on this one. You know, be nice if they would have pushed this up a little more and tried to retest at 50 EMA. Maybe for another leg down. I have to stick to I'm trying to follow the rules to the best of my ability. Because, I can't, unless you could have played break of structure if they break this hard enough right here at the bottom of this, but then you'd almost want to scalp out to the 50 as your take profit in case they don't push and break structure at 64, you're going to get rejection. So, and I'm trying not to scalp as much as I used to. I'd rather try to find the best trade plan and hold longer than a scalp. Even if I do only get 5 points or 10 points because I pull my stop too tight, I'd rather look for a better entry for myself. Good morning, Swang. Swang has arrived. $600 on triple Qs. What I hadn't looked at Qs in a while. What's what did it end up hitting for all-time high? So we're getting exhausted here. We're definitely at the exhaustion point on the 1 and 2 minute. If we get down there to the imbalance zone there at the bottom, close to that trend line, then the 5 minute will definitely be there as well. So that kind of works for me. I think we could see a bounce out of the area with everything so oversold. So I'm going to try to be patient enough to wait there. They shortened that imbalance up there with that wick. So, and I don't think we have much on the 5 minute. We have a little bit. On the 5 minute, we got about 55 about 45. So it's about the same spot there. So that's the one sitting inside the 5. So you could be thinking the crossover of this imbalance up here for a tag, which would come back and be a sweep of the 50. So close down here. So close. Trying to be patient here. The only thing that would be better down here in this area would be, whole number or so interaction. Say if this was like sitting at 900 or 800, or I guess 950 ain't too bad, but that's up in the box around here. But 950 was a level, I think, for several days over the last couple weeks, as the chart's been doing some swinging up and down. I think it was 950, but obviously I took the line off. We did have a line somewhere and I think it was 950. Taking these lows out, lower lows, lower highs. Let's see. They bounced right out of this consolidation area right here before that push. So if you wasn't on earlier or seen pre-market prep, I'm gonna switch this over to the 4 hour real quick. We'll show you where the line in the sand is for us today, that we need to be careful if they break through that level. It's this 4 hour box right here, 890 to 900. If they break this box, we need to be concerned on what we're going to move to the downside. But I don't know if they can, because look at these 4 hour candles. It's been touched 4 times almost. Yeah, well, I mean, it's been touched to the bottom side almost 4 times, and they keep rejecting out of here, which is a strong support line. And so I'm going to be keeping my eye on that if they try to break down below that trend line and take this down. 890 to 900. Line in the sand for today. If they break down below that, we need to start looking for what kind of moves we're going to see. Melinda asked, do I look for an average amount of points when you trade? No, not really. I just try to get as many of them points out of the market as I can. Preferably, I'd like, if I can get the right entry for my trade, then I prefer to target, if I can, 25 and beyond, but you just got to take what you can get sometimes. So I got left down there at the train station. They said, no, we're not coming down there. We're going to turn it around right here. And so I missed that idea. All because of this little consolidation zone right here. Can you believe that? All this right here. That wick come down to there. If you look to the left of the chart, it barely swept below all these little wicks right here. So the question is are we going to get rejection out of this zone up here? Take them off. Because they could sweep the 50 a little bit and still not break the structure off this wick right here. And then the crossover is about the middle here of these boxes between the 5-minute and a 1-minute imbalance. Probably downsize a little bit. Just take 1 micro up here if they do it and see. But this is only going to work for me if it lines up with the momentum indicator on the 1 minute and I get the close of a red candle up there. Then I'll think about it. If I don't get that, then I don't want the trade. I want to be out on the sideline. Melinda, if I'm scalping though, you know, on average I'm still going for, I prefer to scalp for 10. If I was scalping NQ instead of MNQ, I would be scalping 5 to 10 would be on average what I'd be looking for. You can scalp because you can take one and you can scalp just one mini and rotate accounts. You know, if you're going for base hits and you got more than one account, you know, just depends on what it is. If you have daily goal or something, say it's $200 or $300 maybe, just several base hits. And NQ you can do that pretty fast if you're on the right side of the market. You got to be in sync with the market, and you can, you know, if you're in an uptrend, especially if the overall trend was bullish and you're in an uptrend, it's easy to scalp pullbacks, bounces and all that. But this being an overall bearish trend for me is the same trades don't play out the same way, vice versa between being in a bull market and a bear market. The ATRs down are at 18, 19 on the 1 minute, about 53 on the 5 minute, about 100 ticks on the or 100 on the 15 minute. Got us some. See what we're setting up for here. See if they can break above the golden pivot and try to push it higher. It looks kind of like price action ain't lining up with the ATR. Hey, what's going on, Rich? Hope you're doing good today. If you just joined. We got in some trades already today. Some other people out of Discord in here been getting some trades done. That I was saying earlier, if you wasn't here earlier, I didn't really get on early and break and do pre-market prep because a lot of people hadn't really been on I don't think anybody's been on much, if any, when I do pre-market prep live. So I pre-recorded it again this morning and posted it in Discord. And I might start doing that if it'll make it easier, maybe. I just thought it might be simpler if we tried to do it. If we started the live stream about 10 or 15 minutes early and just did it at the very beginning, right before the open, but I may switch back to doing it the other way. All right, they're trying to push up here into these imbalance zones up here. I'm going to be looking for maybe a short opportunity up there, but we got room on the 2 and the 5 minute indicators for expansion to the upside. All right, so this would right be the area we're looking for a short entry, but I'll need to wait and see. I want to get a first 5 minute candle inside the exhaustion on the 1 minute to determine if I want to do that. If you are new to the stream and aren't in the Discord, post a link to the Discord in the channel. Free to join if you want to join the Discord. Somebody already posted in the Discord in the P&L. Dave posted. It looked like he had a good morning. I don't think he's been on here with us though. Buy signal on the 1 minute. Closed above the 50 EMA. They have some room for expansion still. Or are they going to try to get short here? So I'm going to wait and see what this candle does. If it closes red back under the 50 EMA, I'm probably going to go short on the close of the candle. Preferably it needs to close down here around 27. You know, fill that back up. Fill the wick back up, and then I think I could probably get behind that maybe for a leg down. I'm only going to go in with one though. We'll see. See if they can come back down here and tag 20, 25, I mean. Yeah, I'll just let it ride for right now. So the short would have worked good if I had placed my order up here and went first reaction into this area, and if I'd have got picked up, you know, that's a good drop right there. 25 points or so, I believe. And then I take the first red candle close, and then it goes against me. And that can happen because there's still room for expansion on the 2 and the 5. Preferably when all this sets up, you want all three of the time frames to be exhausted, you know, overbought or oversold. Now they're going to try to push it. Push it up. Nope. I need them to push it down. We'll see. So they filled this imbalance. And they almost filled this one. Oh, come on, man. Thank you. Need to get some expansion to the downside. I just close out a trade. Yeah, it's a decent little base hit. But I didn't like the way that I had to manage that. I'm not really trying to, that just didn't set up the way I wanted it to. You know, typically want to push this candle down and then buy on the close and get the next push down. I'm sure I'm delayed some. The quickest way to check it is I'm going to say now, and when I say it, as soon as you hear it, you got to type it in the chat. Let me get my clock up. Now. Wow. Yeah, if it took that long, that thing's showing that it's almost 25 seconds again. But it looks like everything's good on the stream side. Is everybody delayed that far back? Might try refreshing the thing, Melinda, because I know ever since we had changed the settings on it, we had been doing about around, it seemed like 4, 5, 6 seconds. Oh, it was good, and it's gotten slower. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not showing anything on my side as far as the warnings of the lag. Sometimes it will, but it hadn't. I'm showing good bit rate, so I don't know. So they come up here and tap this other zone. I guess I can take this off of my chart. Oh yeah, I appreciate you letting me know. Absolutely. I just don't know if there's anything I can do about it. I know there ain't anything I can do while I'm live. Anytime I mess with the settings, I got to be off stream to be able to change them. But it could just be something on YouTube side, or the streaming, this other streaming software, OBS, because some of that's out of my control. The current high of the 4-minute or 4-hour candle that we're currently working on, the high of it is around 179, 180, something like that. And the low is around 958 or so. Currently has 221 points of range, the 4-hour candle that we're currently working on. Can't believe that this came down here where it did and didn't tag our imbalance down here and then turned around and made this drive up. Almost 100 points. Almost. Well, yeah, it did do 100 to that week. It's the name of the game sometimes. What, anybody else taking any trades? Or anybody in anything? Like, did anybody catch any of this move, this drive from down here? I sure missed it. ATR is down to about 11 on the 1 minute, so go figure, you know. What are we going to do? Sit here and kind of consolidate inside the 4-hour zone? One of the 4-hour zones. It happens, Melinda. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, it is wiki. It's awfully slow too now, so I'm going to mute myself for just a second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Don't look like I missed too much, though. Doesn't look like they're trying to move this too quick one way or another. The 1 and the 2 minute charts are in momentum indicators are getting into the exhausted zone. 5 minutes still has some room to go. We get just got a lot of room for the we got a lot of room to the upside for on the 5 minute chart, on the 5 minute momentum indicator, I mean. So, the 1 and the 2 is kind of just waiting for the 5 to catch up. You know, I was thinking, looks like there could be room on the 5 minute if they wanted to try to walk this on up to maybe this zone over here. Maybe tag this 4-hour zone again. Looks like they might have other plans for it here, maybe, depending on what kind of leg down here they make. Although they keep putting in these higher lows here, so we'll see. If they can't take this below the 50, you know, then they might just keep slow grinding to the upside. Maybe they try to come back down here and tag this zone again. Maybe get us a bounce out of this area like they did here. It hasn't been near quite as near of a chop zone today as it has been with sideways action. I mean, at least it's been going up or down most of the day instead of just, I mean, here's a little bit of chop right in here before this leg down, but, and then this little bit right here before they made that move up. It's just not a lot, you know, by, well, 30 minutes to an hour ago, a lot of times they would done started into some kind of chop, would have been going on for about an hour, it seems like. It looks kind of like crude oil is smoothed out after it had that huge up move, almost 120, and then went back down all inside 24 hours. And now it's still down there. I mean, it's still up, but it's in the 80s. It's not near as bad as if it was still up in the 120 area. 110, 120, anything over 100. Gold, it's around 51 something. There might be something in the works on me hosting on My Funded Futures next Thursday, I think, for a day, just for an hour, I believe. I don't know. Either I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be live streaming myself and then just join and keep my screen share while I'm live, or if I'm gonna have to stop the stream a little bit early and then get on theirs. It's not 100% set in stone, but there's talk about it, so we'll see. Could be a good opportunity, I reckon. What do you guys think? Good exposure. Yeah, they do all them prop firms, you know, they have their own like TV, like Tradeify TV on YouTube, My Fun of Futures TV on YouTube, Humble Futures. I was supposed to be doing something with them today, but we didn't get it worked out, which I think they're pretty new anyway. But yeah, get on there and do what we're doing here, basically. Walk through trade plans, just doing the same things that we do now. So, you know, if I got to be on there, if I do end up having to be on there next Thursday for an hour, I was just wanting to give a heads up that, you know, if you still want to be with me on stream and I can't keep mine up because I got to go do that, then, you know, you can link into their YouTube stream. I'll have more information about it probably by beginning of next week, I would think, because I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Who knows? Do it one time, maybe there'll be opportunity there to come in and do it again. Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, I don't think that would be a problem. I don't have the link, but not yet anyway. But I'm pretty sure I could do that, or maybe even post it in the Go Live channel there in Discord. Right now, my plan was to just keep streaming and just screen share my screen while we're live. Keep y'all on live. I mean, it's possible to do. It shouldn't be that hard. But then if I had to get off my stream to go do it, then I don't remember what time it is. It might be I think it might be from 11 to 12 maybe. I just don't know if it's, can't remember what they told me. I don't know if it was Central or Eastern. I guess I could go look while I'm not trading. Let's see here. It would be from 11:30 to 12:30 Eastern. Yeah, that's when it'll be. So that would be like 10:30 to 11:30 our time. So depending on how the day was, our stream might be done anyway. I've been staying on to about between 11 and 12 my time central. So we'll see. It seems like every day that we're getting maybe right now we got our base. It seems like of those of us that are on here about every day, and then it seems like every day there's new people dropping in. Maybe have a few extras watching the stream for a longer period of time. You know, hopefully it keeps growing day by day. Yeah. Swang says it's hard to trade these slow grinds. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not messing with anything just yet. Nothing, no opportunity has really presented itself right now to me. We either need a breakdown here. We need to break down, and I mean break down. Let's get back down here. Let's make a move one way or another to the upside or downside. If we make it to the downside, we're looking at this imbalance area down here with this trend line. If we move to the upside, we're going to be looking, can they break back through this 4-hour zone? Can they break all this little mini structure over here? Well, it ain't mini anymore, but from where price is right now, that'd be a pretty decent structure break on a little higher time frame. 5, maybe a 15 minute or so, 15, 20, 30. You know, we'll see. Let's get a move put in. As we can see, they're trying to put a move in now to the downside. We got the sell on the 1 minute, no signal on the 2 minute, no signal on the 5 minute. The 1 minute is almost to the 80. The 2 minute is not quite there, neither is the 50, but they're all headed down, it looks like. The indicators are pointing down. Rich, you ask and you shall receive, is what they're trying to do for you. You trying to go in short? You going to take a break of the 200 or retest? I don't know where the 200 is. Oh. Rich made it go down. He said if it breaks, and it broke. And it broke. Kind of push are they going to do here? Should we go off the trend line here and see if we can get something? Nice, Rich. Oh, gut punch. They're going to come down there and tag our imbalance zone. Took out that low barely. Man, they better not turn this around, leave me at the train station again. You know, I don't even like this. I'm not doing that. Rich got 25 points on the sale. Beautiful. Beautiful base hit. Man, they couldn't quite get down there and tag that trend line. I'm not sold that this ain't putting another leg down, though, because we got room to expand on the 2 and the 5, although they could come up here and test this area right here. When moves happen that fast on the 1 minute, the momentum indicator gets over sold really easy and can take this bounce, get this leg up, and then reject. But in the way I look at that is because the 2 and the 5 minutes still have exhaustion room to the downside if they want to keep pushing this down. So ideally, you could think they're going to come up and tag top of this box, this imbalance, maybe sweep it, hit the golden pivot. Missing the moves, ain't I? I'm missing the moves. Yep. Let's see. You must be talking about the one on the 5 minute. Better get it put on there, I guess. Yep. Oops. I think that's about right on the 5 minute. Close enough. Close enough for me. So we got a little 1 inside of 5. They get these indicators sold off. I'm gonna pull this trading view chart over real quick and look at this on this. They get these indicators all exhausted right here. These are getting close. Look at the range on this 4-hour candle, 226 points. We're at the bottom range of it, and it's got 2 hours and 42 minutes closed. So I'm thinking, well, you know, once these are exhausted over here and we start finding a turnaround, if they want to push this back up, you got to be thinking how much of this 4-hour candle are they going to try to eat up possibly to the top side. Now they're getting down into the old imbalance zone with the trend line, and I don't feel safe playing that bounce there because where all them indicators are at that I just pointed out on trading view chart. I'm going to hop this chart over the 5 minute real quick. Well, we can look at a couple other things. So got some imbalance on one of the 1 or 5 down here. I must have drawed on something maybe yesterday. I moved it over this morning. But look at all this out of this zone down here. This is that key level I was talking about we need to hold today, 890 to 900. So, you know, if we don't get a bounce here and they try to keep pushing this down, which look at this indicator has got plenty of room to get exhausted down in here, that's enough room for us to get that push down to this. We've had 1 tap, we had 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 taps, 4 taps, 5, there's 3 in there, 6, 7, almost 8 taps into that zone on the 5 minute. Got to make you think if they tap it again, they're going to rip it to the upside possibly. And if all the indicators are exhausted by the time it gets here, then there's a good possibility that that will be how that plays out if they get down there. We'll hop us back over to the 1 minute. So we tagged our trend line, bottom side of the imbalance zone to the money, it looks like, almost. We'll see. They're going to try to push it out right here instead of draining it down anymore. You know, if they start pushing this up and they can break this structure here on the left, this little one on the 1 minute here, this will be breaking structure on the 5 minute by the time it comes over here and breaks this. Yeah, say we need to get back above 25. You know, if they could break this candle hard and close up here, they're going to have to break it hard. They're going to have to break above that line and close pretty hard. I'll think about getting long here. It's questionable because we got the crossover, the imbalance right here in here, and then we got the imbalance all the way up to here on the 5 minute and the 50 EMA and the golden pivot. I mean, that all screams against going long unless you're going to scalp out of it. But because we're exhausted, if we can turn these indicators around, momentum indicators, I kind of like the idea back above 25,000 and see if we get the push. You know, even if we just break it, get the push here, we should have enough room to expand to the trend line, you would think, before we see an exhaustion to the upside. But who knows? Looks like my funded futures come out with a promo today. The rapid plan, aka daily payouts promo. 2 trading days to pass, and then daily payout eligibility once funded. Clear rules. Interesting. Melinda said, got my pennies back from my stop out, but it's been a fight. Yeah, we have days like that sometimes. No doubt. The struggle can be real on days. All right, I kind of like the way that they're building out here. This little choppy area. So if we get this break up here, you know, and get the push, the indicators are starting to set up like they might want to make a leg here to the upside. We'll see. If we can get a decent candle that pushes and closes above 25, I think might be enough for me to try to go long. Nice. Now get up there and close and push. Come on. Nice. Beautiful. Push. Push. Took my stop too tight, but that's okay. I'll just hold the one for now. See what kind of breathing room we can give this. See what kind of expansion we can get. Still going to follow tight in case it wants to reject though, like that off the 50 or the golden pivot. Ah, ouch. I didn't really want to get stopped out. Hey, great base hit though. That was a great base hit. Nasty wick up into that 50 and that golden pivot though. This right here is the exact thing where I was talking about. It's hard to get long down here because we had all this up here, the 50, the golden pivot, all this imbalance right here, all coming together for rejection. So it's kind of deal we thought. Now we're retesting the structure break in here. I mean, it's a lot of confluence to the rejection there, but maybe I should have covered all three up here and went short, you know. Should have sold 6. Could have covered 3 and went short 3. I like doing plays like that all the time. Instead of just covering, I like to enter when I cover. If I believe that's where reversal is going to be, but I was kind of thinking this might push a little harder than it did because of the expansion room we had left on the indicator. It's just being aware because the chart tells a story and I was trying to read both sides of the story, whether it could go long and then this being able to happen if it got here, the possibility of the rejection. Rich said all that stuff, all that confluence, 1 minute chart, 50, 200, and golden pivot in the same area. It's a whole lot going on in one spot. Base hits, though. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I did too, but that's why I put them stops in there as soon as it did, because of that possibility of that. And that tends to be why I get stopped out a lot, because I've always got trade plans wrapped around so many different possibilities on a chart that I'll follow pretty close with my stop a lot of times in case it reaches an area like that where I knew there was a possibility for a short play. Anytime you get in here and start scalping on the 1 minute and think, well, if I got structure break right here at 25 or 995, but want to break above 25, that didn't give me much wiggle room there. Just enough wiggle room, though, to get a decent base hit out of it, though. I could be done with these accounts here that I'm in, but they're evals, so I'm going to probably try to put a little more in them than a couple $100. With these are more Bull and Ox accounts. With Bull and Ox, you know, you can have up to 11 funded accounts, but you can only start with 3. And so any that are past ready to be funded have to wait. And once you get one of your 3 to the buffer zone, then you can activate your fourth, and then when you get another one to the buffer, you can activate the next one, and so on. It's a little process like that. That way you don't have a whole bunch at one time, I guess. It's part of the way they roll it out. So, I mean, even if you pass evals, they sit on standby for however long. If they're not pending inside your dashboard anymore and you need to activate some and you're eligible to, then you just tell them, send them a ticket to send you an invoice so you can pay the activation fee on the funded account. So you can really be sitting there with a number of accounts waiting to be funded. Well, we got our line in the sand down here that we was talking about. I think I'm going to have to try it down here. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get too crazy here. Let's go. I was about to put 3 orders down there with 3, but I'll just do 3 orders with 1 for now. A little more manageable than picking up 9 down there. This is line in the sand. We looked at the levels just a minute ago. I mean, that zone right there, all these taps with these huge moves out of this zone. If they do not bounce here, there's no telling what's going to happen to the downside, because they have not been able to break it yet. I'm going to assume to think that if they did break it, which you probably shouldn't assume, but what I did in the pre-market prep video when I went over it, if we break this level, we're going to find, we got this 4-hour zone here. We got this prior low down here at 832 is inside this area. So you got the 4-hour zone, the prior low, 832, you got the S1 pivot, 821, and then all this in balance here in this green box on the 1 hour, this green box, and then this is just some small imbalance on a lower time frame. So you got to think there's a whole lot going on down here if we break through this, that it might try to come down here and pick some of this up. So something to keep an eye on. But the 1, 2, and 5 minute kill zone indicator is getting to be in the exhausted area. If we could get another leg down here, so we can, this box is null and void now, but we got something right here like this on the 1 minute, and then I'm sure that there's something, well, not yet. 5 minute chart hadn't played out enough yet, but all nice. You're saying you caught 97 points? That's sweet. Love it. I found all that confluence up there. Perfect opportunity for sure. Great job. Coles must not be lagging that bad, because he answered awfully quick. Come on down here. Oh, nice. Thanks for the update, Cole. That, man, come down here. Can you believe this? Beautiful short. And it was tall tale here with this 1 minute where it went up there and tagged and sucked down, showing exhaustion, closed red, and then well, I know why I didn't looking at it. Oh no, yeah, no. See, if this indicator would have been up here in the 80 area when this set up like that, I would have went short there, but I wouldn't have did it at the 50-yard line. Hey, can you believe this? They're going to do that. They're going to push that down and then leg up like this. Man, they better reject up here around 965. Come down there and pick these up and rip this to the upside like they did all them other times. You know, down here, cover up here in this 4-hour zone. Bounced off a fib level. I'd probably know that, huh, Melinda, if I'd put the fibs on my chart. I don't like using them intraday, usually. Maybe I should like to start using them instead of saying that. Who knows? I like testing them on the high time frames when I'm looking at levels, but then I can be saying, well, this fib lines up with this, this, and this. I don't like my chart to be too busy, and this is a lot busier than I like. But I gotta have the stuff on there, the zones and all that, so. This is rather frustrating to me that I got left down here again. Like, really? Y'all made that push down and you couldn't, like, one more candle to the downside? Maybe that's just people protecting the zone because they don't even want it to get that close. Because if this breaks, I wouldn't be surprised if they did break this zone. I would not be surprised if they put a red candle in all the way to that low of day right there from yesterday, 832. Probably be one shot. They break this box hard and close, the next one open up and shoot straight down there. And so I'd be looking for a counter trend trade. If they did something like that, I'd be setting orders up down here for the bounce between the low 832 and the S1 pivot. I'd probably be like, oh yeah, because they'd probably, if they did it that way, that candle would probably suck all the way back up to this 4-hour zone pretty quick if they wanted to protect this zone when they did it. Well, I need to clean this imbalance up here. This one box is gone, and then they filled that up to there. So I need to move this over 18 to 36 or so. I don't really think not necessarily too large of a move to be a sweep, because there's no set standard, you know, for what one could be. Is it a little bigger than some? Well, yeah. Well, no, not really. I mean, it seems to be in line to me with some of the sweeps you see, so it just looks big. I got my zoomed in on my chart, you know. When I make it littler, it don't look that big. It's really only from the bottom of this box to here, so like, what is that? I think 30 points maybe, 20 something points. So no, it ain't that bad. So then, say if they swept the bottom of this one by if they did sweep this about by the same, be 10, 20 points to the bottom about of this. So Maybe they come down here, because they could, if they do push this down, they could sweep this 4-hour zone and get down in here somewhere. But if they were to come all the way down here, once they broke that 4-hour zone, that would not be a sweep if they get all the way down to here when they do it. But they could sweep this low and tag all this for another move up. What if they put in some kind of funky candle, hard down real fast, and with a long wick where it sucks back up and tags that zone? Considering how many times it's tapped this zone already, I could see them putting in some kind of funky candle like that. That don't even look like it goes with the chart or what the chart or the indicators are trying to tell you. It does the complete opposite thing. ATR is around 15, 16 on the 1 minute. About 40 on the 5 minute. About 80 something on the 15 minute. I need to build one of those ATR boxes like I did for TradingView for NinjaTrader, so that it'll sit over here on my chart while we're watching. Could have swore that I did build one of those. I built an indicator for TradingView, and I'm watching TradingView. Wick rejection zones, support and resistance, dead zones, profit wave, precision buy sell. Man, I could have swore that I built one. I might not have been able to get it to do exactly what I wanted, so maybe I deleted it. Yeah, I just I built the indicator that keeps up with that, and it's on my 1 minute TradingView chart right here. 1, 2, 5, and 15 minute. Helps out a whole lot. Knowing what the ATR is and just being able to see it right there on the screen. The only one you can load off of NinjaTrader has one, but it's just a line down here, like just one solid line in a separate pane. That I don't want to see all that on my chart. I just want a box that tells me what it is. Because then you got to be getting down here guessing, putting your crosshairs on there so you can see what it lines up to over here on the numbers and all that. I ain't got time for that. Shall we play first reaction down here, you think? Oh, you're welcome, Rich. I need to package that ATR up and put it on Gumroad for people that have TradingView if they want it. I ain't never done that. All right. What is he going to do here? Let's get a bounce out of there. Jake says buy here. Is this the spot? I got to buy it down here in this box. Or I might get left at train station again. I don't know. We got a little room to go to the downside on the momentum side if it wanted to. Needs to just whip down there, suck the candle back up, fill all three of them, and take off to the 4-hour zone to the top side. We're to the bottom side of the current 4-hour candle right now. And if it would wick down, grab it, and take off, we got 273 points in the 4-hour candle we're working on to the upside. Or almost that much. Probably about 270. Come on, let's go. Let's get that feel. Even if we could get this feel and they bounce it and could get it back up here to this imbalance that's left over, getting close to the 50 would be a great trade. But if they find the legs down here to push and they get up here and break all this wick stuff going on to the left and close above the 50, then it'd probably be on to be going up higher. It just depends on how bad swing they want to protect this zone. I mean, there's times where it'll look like it tagged and it never did, or it tags just the top of the box and then turns around and I'm left sitting down in there, but that happens more often than you would think. I just hope that they try to protect this low like they had previously and not break through it, because it could get ugly if they could break down hard under this box. Try to give it some room to breathe here though, because the 1, 2, and 5 are exhausted pretty good on the momentum side. So this ain't the kind of reaction you want to get on this trade. You know, they didn't suck it up hard. They hadn't pushed hard yet out of the zone, which is something you think you would see after the way it's reacted to it a number of other times. But try to give it enough room to breathe and see if it can expand. I'm going to close this one. I don't want that. And I'm going to go ahead and protect myself for some stupid pullback or push down. You know, Ideally, we're thinking back to this zone, though. If they get this curl and the legs under it. There ain't no reason out of that zone we couldn't find a 100-point move that I can see. Here, okay, come on, break structure and find some expansion. Let's go. Saw I'm in at 897. You know, let's get back up here to this area. See how bad they want to push it. Give it a little time to breathe. Did anybody get long down here out of this box? Nice trade, Cole. Said he got 68 points short from 2-minute imbalance to the previous day low. Rich says you took 25 points with 5 micros, what, out of this zone down here? Great job if you did. Beautiful trade. I'm looking for the glorious push. I want to see 100 points out of here. If we get a 100-point push out of this zone down here, you're going to tell all your friends to come hang out with us? We called out that one yesterday, 166-point move. He thought I was going to... Hey, it happens to me all the time, Rich. Nothing wrong with how you traded it, though. You were green, and you did a great job doing it. Well, no, let me keep this down here for now. No, I want out up here with at least one of them. I need to protect some of my gains. But I also need to give it plenty of room to breathe. We got plenty of room of expansion on the 5-minute chart and 2-minute chart, and still a little left on the 1-minute. So we got enough on the 5-minute to get it way up here. But I need to lock in at least one of these, and I'll just hold one. I don't want to give back that much. Maybe I do that. Maybe I need to sell one up here if we get a push to the upside and go ahead and get out of one of them. Just trying to get base hits here. I'm not trying to knock nothing out of the park, but would be nice to snag 100 points or better. Come on, let's go. Where's a good place? See, this is a good place to take one because we got some imbalance there. That'd be like sweeping the 50 in case it wanted to reject. Nope, but I'll take that one right there. And then I'll move that one back. Just to see here. Jake telling me to add to the winner. He said go big or go home. Dang, Jake. Man. You're beating me up here, man. I don't want to add to the winner. I'll tell you what, I'll add to it if it breaks the 50 EMA. No, I'm not adding 3. I don't want my average to be up there where the price is at. I'll add 1 though. I accidentally added 10. No, I didn't realize I had my quantity set at 9, and I was in a nice short, I think, yesterday. I think it was after we was done streaming, I'm pretty sure. And I was in a nice short, and I wanted to add to the winner, and I accidentally added 9 because it's what the quantity was set at, and it moved my entry price right where the current price was trading at, and I automatically just closed the trade out. I thought, man, what did I just do? It happens sometimes. What kind of momentum is that coming in that candle? What's that about? Better put some protection in here. You know how they like to do that. They'll put in a stupid 100-point candle to the downside, and I'll lose. They got room still, plenty of room on the 2 and the 5 minute. But with that 1 minute getting exhausted up there, they could try to do some kind of little pullback here. And I would want to miss that pullback. I don't want to be stopped in it, so I'm going to move this down. Because what if they try to come back here and test structure right here, you know? There, right here on this wick over here. Some crazy fast candle. And then would stop me out and turn around and go up 80 points. They need to get above that 50 EMA though. They need to close above that. Yeah, they need to extend that V. I like that myself. You know, I'm thinking easily back up in the back to 25,000, but will it be a straight line? Probably not. Since I'm in it, probably not. If I never gotten a trade, it probably would have already been up there. You know, if they pull this back some, yeah, right. He said, wait for Trump's tweet. If they pull this back some, you know, and it looks like it's just going to be a pullback for another leg up, I might buy another one. Might move my, but then it would only move my entry up in the here somewhere instead of up in here somewhere. See, we're getting held up by this 50 EMA and all this structure right here. They need to break above all this. Maybe I should take that stop off because they probably see it. Some imbalance down here, 918 to 930 area on this 1 minute. Yeah, swing. I hear you. I usually would already be out of the trade, typically, but I would have covered both up there at the 50 EMA or what I had left, but I want to give us enough room to breathe and see what kind of move it's actually going to try to pull out. Because we was talking about if we come down and tag that zone, that it's already tagged like so many times on the 5 minute chart, it's tagged it. This is like 8th and 9th time it's been down here, something like that. You know, we got a big 4-hour candle that we're putting in. Still got 2 hours to close. I was hoping, you know, the top side of the wick of that candle is around 180. So I was hoping to see this find some legs. Even if it's got to do a little bit of consolidating for a push higher. You know, if they pull us back here some, it's going to allow the momentum indicator on the 1 minute to drain off. And then it could even cool the 2 off a little bit, even though the 2 minute has plenty of room to expand. The 5 minutes all day, it's got enough room to expand to get way up here. It's just what they want to decide to do with this. I'd hate to hold this back into this 4-hour zone, but I might. I mean, if I'm going to hold it, no, I'll probably take profit down in here somewhere if it were to get back down here. It'd be a little bit, but then I can make judgment on what I want to do after that. If they keep pushing in case they decide to come down and break this area. Because there's enough room for downward expansion on the 1 minute for that to come back to here. Now. Maybe if they do come back and stop it out down there, there could still be opportunity here for them to retest the same zone again for another push up as well. Yeah, them limit orders can get some good feels on. I do them buy markets quite a bit too. Buy market or sell market, and I've had some horrible feels by doing that, but luckily still ended up in the green because it did go my way, but didn't feel exactly where price was at when I hit the button. I was really expecting to see a better push out of this zone than that. The fact that it rejected up here around the 50 and it's going to come back this far and stop me out makes me wonder, are they going to try to crack this level, which is going to get ugly if they do. Or is it just going to be a retest of that level? If they try to push this down, I'll probably play the break of the zone if they push it down hard. Could be a bloodbath if they break that. this wasn't nearly as strong a bounce as what they had previously done out of this zone. So see if they're going to try to do a little double bottom here and try to take it back up. I'm only putting these orders up like this because what if they get back down into this zone and do some kind of death candle right here? I want to get picked up short and then cover in one big candle. If they get slick around these areas like this, and the ATR is only like 16, but then all of a sudden the candle opens up and shoots down real fast. This is this is a risky play here. I would not follow these orders or what I'm trying to do, but I'm just being prepared for some of the craziness that they try to give us sometimes. I want to be able to get in and get out in one whole candle, and then if it didn't get this far, still have one, because I would cover and try to play long out of this 4-hour zone down here. Especially around this low, 832, and that pivot's 821, I'd probably load up down in this area. Really, I should probably be putting that like down there. Or they might try to just bounce it out of here again. But they're not doing a great job. Like this wasn't that great a candle out of the zone. We got a tap, still nothing significant. It's really weak. So one would have to ask themselves, it looking this weak, what's the possibility that we might be breaking through this zone for more downside? I think it might be a pretty good chance if they can't prove to us that they want to push it higher. I just feel like that's the crack in the chart. Like if they break it, it seems like we're going to get a fast move to the downside. Or maybe I'm just on the crazy train right now. We'll see. Sure don't like the ATR being this low. But it's low now, but it could be 30 or 40 here in just a minute if it puts in a crazy candle. the risky part of this is all the momentum indicators are pretty much so oversold. One would think, well, being that exhausted, we're looking for a bounce, which is what I'm usually looking for. But being close to this level, just because they're oversold don't mean they can't stay down in that area for quite a while before they find the legs to push it. So and then NQ's kind of like the weather. Just give it 5 minutes, you know. Might look like one thing now, but it could look like something completely different in 5 minutes. I would love nothing more than to see this trade right here play out and then come down here on the push and get filled down in this area somewhere for a long. That would be great. But it looks like they want to find some legs all of a sudden. Maybe. Yeah, swing it does. It looks like it would be hard and fast, and it's kind of what I was hoping for if it does it. Not really. No, I don't want no time to manage the trade. I want it to trigger, keep pushing after it triggers it, and start covering and close down in here pretty hard. That would be nice. But once again, they protected that zone decently, pushed it out of there. 20 points or a little better. Come on, where's the break at? Who thinks it's gonna give it to us? Are they gonna break this down, shoot down? It's been a while. Yeah, I have looked at tick before. I think maybe you or somebody led me onto that back when we was maybe messing with options. I believe I was looking at that. Are they really going to protect this box? Wow. That's a big move. I may have to start looking back into something like that. See how it correlates with everything else I do and got going on. So they try to push it out of the box, you know. I still, nothing impressive until I see them break at 50 EMA with some more momentum or something. Minus 150 here. Wow. Is it setting up for the push, or is it a fake out and going to be short up here around the 50 EMA? Needs to prove itself worthy. You might get it. You might get it, Jake. The longer they hold it above this box, I'm sure you're probably going to get it. And they've had plenty of opportunity to break this box in the last 10, 15 minutes. Now, I don't like the way it rejected off the 50 there, but, man, that don't mean nothing just yet. There's so much room for expansion on the indicator, on the momentum indicator, that it's about how long one can sit through it if they're already in it. To give it enough time to find the legs on the 5-minute chart too is well to push. I honestly don't think I'm going to get the breakdown right here from what I'm looking at, but I did think that when it was closer to the box. You get the close above the 50 and you'll get the 300. Probably get it pretty fast, probably. If it breaks that up there. Right, green is green, Cole. Melinda, are you asking me how big is my stop in it when I take a trade? Cole, if you're done for day, if you're leaving, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you again same time tomorrow, buddy. If you are asking me that, Melinda, I don't, as you can see, I'm not using an ATM strategy. So, yeah, I didn't even trade. I hadn't touched my funded accounts yet today. Which that's okay too. No trade is a winning trade, so ain't nothing really set up for me to want to get in a funded account just yet. Melinda, oh yeah, like if, I mean, say we did want to take the trade out of this box right here. This box is 10 points. If I would have took my trade up here where this kept bouncing around the top, I would have set my stop just below this box. And so it would only been between 8-10 points depending on where my fill was right up here. If I got in it, it would have been down here, because here's the problem. I would rather be out as soon as it cracks this box than to have a stop hanging out down here somewhere, giving it 20, 30 points, especially. And you also, size needs to help determine. Every trader is different. Are you going in with 1 micro up here? Do you have 1 mini? Do you have 3 minis? Do you have 5 micros? All that plays a role too for where you're going to put your stop. But say I took 5 up here, micros, I'm definitely going to put my stop on the outside of this box, because the game plan is if this box cracks, we're going down. I don't think they're going to sweep this box. If they break this box, it's going down. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but that would make a whole lot more sense than a sweep to me. And so I want to be out of the trade right then and there. And then if you're not doing something like that when it comes to stops, you need to be using your structure. You know, most of the time I trade with none in play until I'm in a trade and I get in the green, I'll start managing it. And if I don't get in the green, a lot of times I just manually stop out on my own. I just close the trade out. And that's when you got to be able to actually close it out and not hold and hope forever. You got to be able to say, all right, I'm 300 in the red. I'm done right here. I'm done. I'm not holding it no more. I'm not going to buy anymore because it won't go with my plan. It'll just be a hold and hope dream thing. And Jake, you was probably looking good. We got back up there around that 50 a minute ago. What was you when it was up here? No, I'm sure it wasn't close to the 300 yet, but you was probably 75 to 100 up there, I would think. Maybe not. See, and then they faked me out right there. You're welcome, Melinda. They pushed this hard candle off to 50 right there. I was waiting to see that candle open up and slam its down. I got the kill zone indicator on the 5-minute chart is like breezing down through the 60 to 80 range, oversold, sideways. There's a whole lot of indecision going on between this 50 EMA and this box. So now what we're dealing with, 18 to 36. Let me move my boxes over here some. 72. So now what we're dealing with here, let's look at this. So basically, we're saying something like this right here. We're starting this chop zone. If we break out the top side of this box and close above this line, we break above this line, Jake's going to be getting his plus 300, no doubt. Breaking out of the chop zone, break this line. Do they finally find the legs of push? All right, Melinda, I'm glad. Thanks for being here today. I'll see you on the next one. Great job today trading. Yeah, I think you're going to get what you was looking for there, Jake. We need to break above this. We're going to find legs and start taking out this structure here. Oh, you're welcome, Swing. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. I need to close these trades out. It don't look like they're going to do. It looks like they wanted to protect this box. Yeah. I feel like I've been in some type of sour hour for the last 2 hours, it feels like. We opened up the trading day and took several good trades, and then oh yeah, I appreciate that. That's what it's all about. We're going to do it every day. No, yeah, I'm not expecting a whole lot of anything right now, to be honest. I'm expecting to stay out of a trade until one sets up worth taking for mitigate a base hit maybe. Otherwise, if it keeps on keeping on, I'll probably have to end the stream, then go eat lunch, and maybe come back in power hour, maybe around 2:30 or whatever, my time. I'll talk in Central Time if that confuses anybody. I would love to play a short out of here if it breaks this box, though. Nice call. It's always a good feeling when it feels like you're in the flow with the market, you know, and things are going for you that way. Those days are always the best days. You get done with the trading day and you can walk away and you think, yeah, wish every day was like that. And it would be nice if you could get in the right flow with the market every day, because I've had them kind of days and then the next day be just horrible. But you got to take them winning days like that when it feels that way and always remember them. Yeah, I just switched back to the 1 minute not long ago. I was on the 2 minute. And I think I'd been trading the 2 minute since the beginning of the year. I think it was for quite some time I was just trading the 2 minute. And I don't know why. Well, I switched back to the 1 minute to get a little more precise on some entries with some other things that we was looking at. And I still watch it on the 2 minute. You know me. I got the 1, 2, and 5 up on TradingView, so still keep an eye on it. It's a little hard to keep looking back and forth at the screens, though, watching different time frames and trying to watch the chart at the same time. Plus, talk on the stream and make sure the stream is good on my end when things pop up. Got a bunch of tabs open. Tradify is all the time giving away accounts. I can't never win one for nothing. Wow. No, I don't have 7. I only have 3, but then if I get the iPad out and use it as 1 for something. Although I'm thinking about adding one. I got a TV sitting out here that's brand new that I ain't never used. It's like a 32 inch. I thought about trying to hook that up to my system. I could kind of put it in the middle of the other 2 screens above my computer screen, because they're raised screens to my computer, and I could kind of put it in the middle. But man, that just gives me a whole lot more stuff to look at. I don't know if I want to do that. You let me know when you get to your plus 300. You got to be getting close. Oh, that sounds nice. I bet that is. I would probably like putting my TradingView charts on that 32 inch. That would be a lot nicer. I don't know how big this screen is. It might be 20 inches or, yeah, I think they're 20s maybe, or maybe a little bigger. I hadn't added anything to the system since I first went full time. Using the same setup I was using when we was doing options and stocks. I might have to get a bigger computer though. I'm doing a lot more than I did when we was doing it back then. Doing all this streaming and a lot of other stuff I got going on. I probably need more power. Look at this. Look at this. Should I go long right here? I'm just kidding. I want to be on the hunt for a short. All right, that sounds good. You getting you a new computer? Computer? What brand? I don't want no Mac. Well, looks like I'm going to be looking for a short play if they get this push. That is a beautiful push. Wow. Nice. Very, very nice. Got out of our chop zone down here. We put in our chop zone, you know, closed above our line here that we put in our horizontal line, broke above it, retested it in that candle right there, and then bam, pushed it. Yeah. Woo, 10 minis. Big time. I hadn't been trading minis lately. I do on some of these evals because I'll widen my risk a little bit with them evals, but easier for risk management side of things on the micros, that's for sure. You got to be doing good. Ain't you in a trade with this push, Jake? Probably going to have more than plus 300. Okay, I have to look into it. Oh, you still in it from there? I did. That was back here. I did get in it. I got stopped out. You been in it since back here? Or did you say by here over here somewhere? I thought it was back here when I told you I was waiting on that box to get filled. You got better patience than I do. Okay. Uh, all right, Tiny Tim. I sure wish that 5 minute was overextended like the others, because I'd have took a short on this red candle. Scalp that, but we might still get room to push this on up here. Still got this little imbalance zone up here that ain't never been touched. Oh, I'm not YOLOing. I'm just gonna leaving it on the table. uh, that's funny. Look at me on my jet ski. Man, what a push. And I missed it. And I missed it. It's okay. I'm thinking about the time we get up here to the golden pivot in this imbalance zone. I don't know if it could push back into that 4-hour zone there, although that's what we said down here. You know, if we can get picked up in here, except you would think that the push to this 4-hour zone would have happened a lot faster than that. But they sure have ate into that 4-hour candle we was working on. A little over 100 and about 100, 120 points off the bottom of that 4-hour candle, it looks like. Still got an hour and a half to close. Swing says he don't trade around lunch hour. Too many bad things happen. Yep, I agree with that. I try to stabilize what I'm doing. You know, I hate that I didn't play any of this long though. We sat here and talked about it. Put the chop zone in, it broke. It broke our line. We said it needed to break and close. Then it retested right there. Would have been a nice entry at 943 to where it is now, you know, 50 points. And then had I never put my stops in here, I'd still be in this trade from back here. And it would have never stopped me out had I put my stops below the 4-hour zone and just let it breathe like that. But I don't have the patience to let all this happen when I can lock in gains on this, because I could have got back in it over here. So it's just my choice. We should be getting into some exhaustion up in this area, this golden pivot. In this small imbalance zone up here, we should be. If it gets up there, it'll even be that way on the 5-minute. And although it should be in the exhaustion zone, don't mean it can't come up here and keep pushing higher. But knowing those things can help you manage the trade better. Nice, Jake. That's awesome, bud. See what kind of push they can make here. How exhausted it might get. Put the stop in up here to protect me just in case. Leave it right there above that candle. There we go. Come on. Let's get that push. Push down here to the 50. I'll tighten that up some to right there. I don't want to give much of that back. I'll place this other one up here. That might be a little too far away. Let me get that one up there. There's fat. Give me 2 right there. Give me 2. There. Just trying to get a base hit here, not trying to go for anything extravagant. Although I want to take 2 there if it does come this way. I'm gonna make it give me 2 one way or another, and then I'll just have 1 left and see if I give it enough breathing room. If we get a bigger drop out of this here. We might not. It might just be a pullback. Nice. Come on. Push down. No. They said I don't think so. Take that out. It's all right. Still got a decent base hit out of this. Now I'm protected. So they stopped me out. Time for me to rotate to some other account. See what we have here going on. That time of day, are we going to be up here kind of chopping around, or caught that nice down move on that first red candle, went against me there, turned around and drove down, gave me a good base hit. I may not take anything else anytime soon. I might wait till power hour. Is he supposed to be talking today or doing anything for sure today, Jake? Or are you just saying that? I mean, I know what you mean because that's all it's going to take, but I didn't know if he was speaking today since it's some kind of news day. Back here, we got some imbalance right there in the chart. All right, good deal. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I don't. I just canceled my Benzinga subscription. I think I'd been paying that a yearly subscription there last year or two and hadn't even used it and didn't realize it till this year. I think I had all of them. I had that one and Seeking Alpha and Market Something and Dilution. Whatever that one was that we had. Was it Dilution Tracker maybe? And I had all these subscriptions that I ain't even been using anymore. Was hitting me. I was like, man, I don't even look at that. Yeah, Dilution Tracker. I think I might still have them all for another year because I think they had all renewed again, and I was like, man, I don't even look at that. So I canceled them. I think that they end though begin towards the beginning of next year, I think. Well, we got I think that the last time we spoke and I had Great Danes, I had different ones. We had gotten I think I had the Merle one is the one you're probably talking about, the gray and black. Yeah, because I hadn't talked to you about them dogs since I've had these. I got two new Danes, uh, a female and a male. We're gonna breed them. We're waiting for her to go have her next heat so that she can start having babies, and we're gonna breed them. Named them Rip and Beth. Probably gonna call the brand it is Dutton Danes or something. And they act just like Rip and Beth from Yellowstone. So they're big too, big girl and big boy. The male, I think I don't know. They're over a year old, both of them. They're about 3 months apart, 2 or 3 months. And he's the brown, like the brindle looking kind. His pattern looks kind of like a tiger, but the brindle colors. She's, I think, what you call fawn, just a light brown or something. They're ornery, big horses, man, big old horses. Gentle giants. They do good. I got two other dogs out here with me. Oh yeah, if I sent you a pic, I didn't know last time we had talked about that. I can go back and look. Oh yeah, and that's got to be the one then. Seen nothing in our messages about it, or where I would have sent it at, but yeah, that's it though. If it was Brindle, that's the male. He was probably, it's pretty close to back when I probably got him then. That picture. Man, he's a hoss. Now, the last time I weighed him, I think he was, which has been a while ago. He's over 150. Stands pretty tall. I think his back, I think, is 33 inches. Maybe 34. Big old head, can't be much smaller than a basketball. I wouldn't, well, I mean, it's smaller than a basketball. I'd have to hold a basketball up to his head sometime and look. I'll send you one, I'll send you one on Discord. What he looks like now. Back, set his back in range. I sent you a few others through Discord DM, Jake. Looks like they've come to about a halt on this price action. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here, and I'm gonna go eat lunch. Come back in power hour. I never got to touch my funded accounts yet today, so got some good green in the evals, and I'm gonna move on from there. Maybe later in the day if there's anything that sets up. We'll be back at it same time tomorrow. And hope everybody stays safe and green out there. Let them trades come to you. Don't chase them around. And have a great trade. And I will see you guys at the same time tomorrow.